Finger Lakes Morning News, and we like to visit regularly with some of the kids from the Seneca County Youth Council and see what they're doing. And we have a couple more with us today, and what I'm going to do is ask each of you first to tell us who you are and what school you're from.
I'm Shannon Breer, and I'm from Waterloo, and I'm in the 10th grade.
I'm Liz Catt, and I go to Romeo Central School, and I'm also a sophomore.
All right, it's good to have you here. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a publication that you're going to be doing. It's called The Youth Advocate, and it's going to come out as an insert in the Finger Lakes Times. When? Do we know yet when that's going to be?
July 19th, it's going to be published.
All right, and let's talk about some of the topics. You're going to all write it and produce it yourselves. What are you going to write about?
Well, I'm going to be writing about how we need to make sure that the music budget stays in our schools. Basically making sure that that happens because music is so important in our lives.
And it's unfortunately, when people start talking about cutting budgets, that's one of the things that they kind of zero in on because you don't want to touch any of the academic subjects, but it is very important that we have music and arts education, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually helps the academic education as well because you're more likely to succeed if you do play a musical instrument, because then you're basically focusing on accuracy, and if you focus on accuracy in math and science and everything else, you're still going to be able to get good grades.
Have you done any writing like this before?
No, not before, but hopefully this turns out to be a good one.
So how do you go out and do you talk with some of the music teachers and things? How are you putting your article together?
I actually had to make a speech in my English class about music, so I'm kind of going to take some of the facts that I learned about that, and I talked to my music teacher, and there's so many careers in the music field right now that are still available that it's good for kids to get into.
And then, so you have a whole photography staff and everything that's going to go out and take pictures and lay it out and everything?
Yep.
And is that part of it, is it the writing part that interests you the most? Are you interested in the layout part and the design part of putting a publication together, or is it more doing the article?
I'm more doing the article because then you actually get to put the information in and put yourself into the information.
And also, by the way, Jackie is in the background as always with her video camera. There is a YouTube channel for the, you just do a search for Seneca County Youth Council, and I think the first hit you get is the YouTube channel. The last video from the last interview we posted up on our website, so maybe we can do the same thing here. Now, Liz Catt's also with us, and what are you going to be writing about?
I'm going to be writing about how kids communicate with their parents and how important it is to have open and honest communication between parents and their children.
And that's a near and dear topic to my heart. My daughter is 16 years old today, so I'm well aware of the difficulties of communicating with a teenager. What can we do as parents better? How can we communicate better with kids your age?
I think the main thing is proving to your children that you're really interested in what they have to say, that you're not going to be someone who's going to judge them and tell them what they have to do, but someone who wants to listen to them, their opinions, and perhaps help them to make better decisions.
Do you think that's what parents tend to do? Do they cut their kids off and say, oh, I know what's right for you, instead of trying to get a better sense of what you're going through and what you're feeling?
I think that parents often have the best of intentions when telling their children, this is what you can do and this is what you can't do. But I also think that they miss the point of having their kids make their own decisions, because if your daughter's 16 years old, she's going to be leaving in 2 years. You need to be well prepared for the adult world and not depend on your parents to make the right decision for you.
How do we know as parents when to talk and when not to talk? I mean, how do we get you to talk about things you don't want to talk about?
Well, right. I mean, as a teenager, no one's going to necessarily seek out their parents. It's something that a parent has to take responsibility for and say, hey, would you like to talk about this? Seek out the communication. It's not necessarily going to come to you.
All right. Now, you were saying, I was talking to Shannon before, and you said while you're interested in doing the publication, you're looking to get into the medical field?
Yes, I like to see if I can get into that, because there's a lot of good jobs anywhere in the medical field right now, and they really need it, because I know there's a lot of RNs needed right now in the field, because a lot of people are just either going straight to doctor or just becoming a regular nurse, just practitioner.
There are people in every field needed, because I have a lot of the people on from the healthcare industries, and first thing they say every time, they need doctors, they need nurses, they need technicians, they need a little bit of everything. And now, Liz, you said that you might think about journalism possibly, or?
I think that journalism would be an interesting career. I know that unlike Shannon, I'm not necessarily a math science person. I prefer to write and history and things like that, so I think that it would suit my talents.
All right, and this is the Youth Advocate is the publication that's going to come out. Now, is this are you going to do this on an ongoing basis, do you know, or?
I believe that as long as Youth Council continues, that we will continue doing this publication.
Okay, and it's going to be, did you say July 19th?
July 19th.
It'll appear in the Finger Lakes Times. It'll be written and produced by the kids from the Seneca County Youth Council, which gets help from the United Way. Ladies, thanks very much for being here.
Thank you for your time.
Very articulate and told your stories well, as always, and we appreciate you being with us. And keep doing the good work. It's 8:16 now, Finger Lakes Morning News.